All right, let's talk about one of our big takeaways here from the show and really what we have seen play out over the last 24 hours. And that is first quarter earnings season. We are in the final stretch. Some of the focus that we've been talking about, we talked about it with Scott Cronert over at Citi earlier here this morning, has been on buybacks and the uptick that we have seen in buybacks specifically this quarter. And just to put it even more plainly here, put it very, tell you exactly what this means here when you compare it on a year-over-year basis. We're actually looking at the fact that buybacks have ticked up, I believe, just around 16% compared to what we saw a year ago. $181.2 billion worth of buybacks have been disclosed here for the first quarter results. So what does this mean? Obviously, this signals that executives are confident within their company, and this comes at a critical time here when there is so much uncertainty when you talk about the economy and exactly what is going to happen with the Fed moving forward. But what we heard from Scott Cronert over at Citi was he was talking about the fact that they're actually looking for a free cash flow here to grow by about 10% this year, giving companies more choices. When they have more choices, a lot of them are putting that money to work through buybacks, and then ultimately what that means in terms of further supporting here the market from current levels.
I wrote that number down. I was thrown off by 10%. That just seemed like a lot, particularly given his thesis that this season is going to be a beat then hold, because we're seeing good results, but then we're not necessarily seeing stocks rallying off of those results. So I thought that was super interesting, a great point for you to bring up, Shauna. I also thought that what he said about how buybacks are another part of what's leading to the bifurcation in the consumer was interesting, that those consumers that have the ability to have holdings in Apple, for example, and they're getting the benefits of those buybacks, that's giving them some form of income. Whereas on the lower end of the spectrum, we're seeing that people who are impacted by higher for longer environments, that's making their credit a little bit more expensive. And that's part of the dynamic that's leading to this separation here.
Yeah, exactly. When you take into account why this is happening, clearly that bullish signal that it is sending to the markets. And as a result, we see many of these companies who have announced buybacks, we've seen a tick up in their stock here the following day, and then even over consecutive trading days here. Not necessarily a big surprise, but again, a trend that we have been noticing here at Yahoo Finance, and certainly something that you want to keep on your radar as we close out first quarter earnings season.